All right, welcome y'all back to the long-awaited, long time coming, Diversified Gentleman. Right now we got Reese and myself. Hakeem's on paid leave right now, injured reserve. All right, I guess today, introduce yourself and know who you are.
Hello, I'm back again. Down here in Tampa, Martinez Walthall, the owner of Making Shots Photography.
That's what's up.
Cool.
So the first question we like to ask is, what makes you a diversified gentleman?
I think I'm a diversified gentleman. Man, I wish I would have got that question in advance. Off the dome though, yeah, off the cuff. I believe I'm a motivator more than anything. I don't rest, I don't chill, I'm always on. I don't know how to relax. People see me on my phone. I don't know how to stroll and have fun. I'm always working. I always try to push everybody around me to do that. I like to see everybody get to whatever level it is, no matter if I know about the subject or not. I think that's my superpower right there. I call myself a super motivator. I used to say that I was a morale booster when I was walking around the military. So we was team morale. So I like to see people win.
It's a master networker too. We were here the last time.
yeah, I can work. I can network.
We met strangers, made us friends immediately,
Yeah,
like within minutes.
It's a skill you have to develop. Everybody can do it.
Right. What would you say develops that skill for you though? What makes you that? I guess way to put it, what's that? Relieves that pressure of trying to meet somebody, some stranger, trying to put his perfect face on. You always seem natural. You don't. You're never in the front.
No. I believe coming straight to a person. Just like if you go back into our younger days, when you think about even like middle school dances and things, that first dance is always that rough one. But after you got that first dance, you can work the room. That's how I look at it still to this day. Like if I see a person, I always go for like, whether it's a lady or a man, I always attack the person that's dominating the room. So I go after them. If I can break them, that means everybody else gonna be easy.
Right.
So
I think that's innate. I don't think that's learned.
No.
Because if you make it seem like go to the first dance, the next one, someone like me, I get rejected or I get something happen. I'm
keep
like,
going.
Shut it down.
I'm done. Hey guys, I'll see y'all. I knew I should have came. I knew it. That's just supreme.
I grew up in churches too though. So like, you know how it be. You put your hand in a little bag, you pull out an Easter speech. Yours might be this long, yours might be this short. So fear of being in front of people, fear of talking to people, that stuff out the door. It's been going. Like I don't care. We all equal, you know. So what's the worst that can happen? I try to at least look presentable when I go and talk to people though. Yeah. But sometimes you're not at your best appearance, and you still don't want to miss out on that particular person or that particular situation or whatever it could be.
Yeah.
Right.
So you serve. You are active duty member.
Yep.
Been in for about 18?
18 years.
All right. So, what's your side hustle, which is basically you work like a full-time job because you're always so busy doing it. Tell us about that.
Okay, so I started Making Shots Photography in 2009. I started when I was stationed at Seymour Johnson in North Carolina. I bought the camera basically mainly because my son was born in 2008. And I was like, well, I started taking pictures. And I got good at it. Then people started asking me to come take pictures of their stuff. So in 2009, I just decided to just do the LLC and make it legal. That way I can at least try to get some benefits from it because I was spending so much money into it. If you go way back, I've always been an artist. I draw, I paint also. But I kind of got away from those things because as an airman, I was broke. And
Bills.
Bills was coming.
Always getting your way.
And art.
You was busy adulting.
Right.
You was out here being an adult.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And it's quicker with my pictures were quicker. Like I can go do something, boom, boom, boom. And there wasn't money involved in the beginning. Like I wasn't making any money. I was just taking pictures. To fast forward, it took me. I started in 2009. I didn't start making good money, and that's just my struggle until 2017. That's when I finally figured it out and figured out what I needed to do and how to do it.
That's important to mention though, because People think success is overnight. They see it on TV, they see it on Instagram, they see it on, with social media, and they see the highlights. They think, oh wow, look, you go to your page right now, people are gonna think, this dude is amazing.
Right.
The shots, his lighting, I want to be like that, like right now.
Right.
They didn't see that 8 years before.
Right.
Built up that, that stamina or those pitfalls to get to that point.
Yeah,
You
for
know?
real.
That's the part people don't see. You gotta understand that it takes that time.
I looked at my Instagram the other day. It's 880 pictures on there. Now, if you want to see a timeline of development, go back to when I started that page in 2014. You could see why I wasn't making what I make now, as booked as I am now. So,
yeah, I saw a quote where it's like, a barber charging you $50 for a 10-minute haircut. He's not charging you for that 10 minutes. He's charging you for that 20 years it took him to cut your hair in 10 minutes. You know what I mean?
Right.
And just like we got kids and everyone, they see their favorite rapper or whatever, and everyone wants to be a rapper overnight. I just throw my video out there, I'm gonna blow up. Versus, they don't really focus or hear the stories, or even a lot of the rappers don't tell about, hey, well, I was trying to make it. I was sleeping on so-and-so's couch when I was trying to make it. I was working on McDonald's because my parents was like, well, you're gonna have to pay some bills to the, and then even the glamorizing the selling drugs, but I was doing illegal activities to fund this dream versus, and I'm really good at this. I'm about to make millions of dollars. That's not the case. So that is.
I think it's like sports.
Same thing. Yep.
Everybody, you gotta stay with it. I had that conversation with my son last night. He was a little upset about a football game and playing time. Son, everybody don't get in the game. It's 50 of y'all out there. It's not that many people can get on the field at one time. And I put it into perspective of life. I say people get overlooked every day.
Yeah.
But that don't mean stop grinding. You grind because that way when it's your turn, you prepared.
How old is he?
17.
Yeah.
So I say that same thing about my business also. And people are like, man, you always doing this, you doing that, you buying this equipment, you got that. I say that way when that call does come, I'm ready. I don't have no reason to say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, I'm not prepared for this. I've practiced everything. I've pretty much made it where I can hold my own in almost any area that I would get hired for.
Right.
So I specialize in portrait work, glamour work, boudoir work, and that wasn't even something I went out to do. That was just, that fell in my lap, and that's where I went.
But going back to sports, I think you do make a good point. I think that's why sports is so valuable to kids, because it does teach them hard work, failure, success, and no matter what, keep going, right? Got a game tomorrow, so a lot of these athletes, the good ones, the legendary ones, they win the championship, but they back in the gym the next week because they like, I'm worried about the next one, and the next I'm trying to be, I'm trying to be great, and those will set you apart. I think the practice is the big thing, because you're gonna practice a lot more than you ever gonna be on the field executing, and that can go, to anything in life, not just work, but fitness. Even your family life, practice being a great person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Anything of that importance, it takes practice, and it's not gonna come easy.
No, can't give up. You gotta keep grinding.
Right.
Gotta keep going at it. Family life, you can reset it every day until you got that story in your mind, or the story where you and your spouse are happy together right there. So you can start that over and over again. If it didn't work, you walked in the house with flowers, the flowers got through on the floor. Pick them up, try it again the next day.
Yeah, as long as you get another day, you got another chance.
Right. As long as you got another chance until it's over. When it's over, guess you gotta find you another bus, man.
So what's your overall grand scheme thing? Like, where in the perfect world?
Perfect world, I build traveling photographer, I would step away from shooting as much the glamour work that I shoot. I really love doing events and concerts. That's my biggest thing. I've done the Essence Fest 3 years in a row.
Yeah, that's what I saw you first. Your first work was the Essence Fest.
Yeah, so that's my goal, is to be a part of that circle of photographers that travel to these concerts, events, and red carpets. Not the guys in the paparazzi, but the guys that actually get to be one-on-one like this with the artists. I love being around artists. The celebrity status of the artist is cool, but the artists themselves, listening to them like we talk about their struggles and
see the real people.
Yeah, seeing them having to cut the video because the kid just knocked over something. Like, that's the cool part. Watching them eat and then being mad because you're taking pictures. That's the fun part of being around those people.
Who's the folks you shot that people would know?
My first celebrity I shot was Anthony Hamilton.
Okay.
I shot him in North Carolina at a jazz fest.
Was Charlene there?
She wasn't there. He saw him to her, but she didn't come out. She's
stubborn.
She ain't fall for it. I've been singing her for a lot of years. I done shot Anthony now like 3 times, maybe 4. Yeah, because once I shot him there, I shoot the whole band. Like I said, I work everybody. It's always a point in. I shot the whole band, shot everybody, they images separately.
Wow, okay.
Until somebody responds. Somebody will appreciate you taking time to shoot just them. Might be the man on the keyboard, the man playing the guitar. So you fast forward, I shot the man playing the guitar. I don't know if y'all remember when Anthony did the national anthem and the guy with the dreads looked over like it was crazy. Well, fast forward to 2019, that guy was in Detroit. So I was like, man, look, man, I got some pictures of you. And it had just happened at the All-Star game where he just went viral. I said, you going viral right now? He had no idea because he wasn't on social media like that he was going viral and stuff. And man, we sat there, we went and had wings. Him and like I always wanted to shoot another lady named Mona Yusuf. And I shot her same time I shot Anthony the first time. Well, then she came into town while I was in Illinois. She came to St. Louis. Well, my team arranged it where we shot her one-on-one and did an interview just like this. Then she invited us to come to Detroit to shoot her venue. Her concert. So we went out there and we shot that, and then they invited us to come hang out, go eat. So I love that type of stuff, catching the real life of it. Storytelling. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate all my clients that I have now.
Right. But still, it's unique. You can use stories, and also it can humanize them for you.
Yeah.
Do you find yourself like not putting those people, celebrities or people that are in the limelight, on a higher pedestal than you before?
Right. Yeah.
You see,
we do. Then you see how much pressure it is to be where they are.
Right.
Everybody can't handle that. Constant paparazzi, constant phone calls. Imagine our phone calls we get from our jobs, like, that's enough. Have to go to work.
More than enough.
Right. So imagine that happening all the time. So.
Yeah, you was telling me your strategy to get clients. You say, when you go to a car show, you get the guy with the best car, or when you go in the club, you working because you want to see the VIP and the flashiest person.
You do.
Because those are the person you're gonna target. But like, these people want to be seen.
Yeah.
I need to profit off that because I need to capture that. Hey, I'm your guy.
Right.
You want to get seen? Come to the studio.
It's just like everything. Like, if you don't speak out, if you're not, like I say, the squeaky wheel that gets the grease, the other wheel mess around, fall off, and just starts squeaking. So you got to know who I am. But I do it in a way where it's strategic. Like, I don't just go after everybody. Like I say, if I see a group of girls, I try to see, I either go for the one that's not getting no attention, do a shoot with them. That way I can get the one. So we just put it on Instagram. So you got a girl with 1.5 million followers, 2 million followers. I don't message her to shoot her. I go through, I look at her friends that she hang with. Basically, I'm just going through the page. I look at it as doing research like any company would do for anything. And then I find somebody that they hang with that has 2,000 followers that they friends with. I'll give that person a message. I shoot that person and draw the other person in when they see how nice the stuff is. It's like fishing.
Right. It's probably more likely to get a response too. They're probably getting less messages,
Right.
less bombardment.
Right. Yeah, they don't, everybody's looking at a cute friend.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know how they're playing chess, huh?
You
It
have
would be a
to.
serial killer. He'd be good at it.
You have to be good at this. You gotta study it. Like, it's a lot of trial and error. A lot of messages are sent out daily.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm to the point where I get to pick and choose who I want to work with, who I want to put my name on the image. My clients now, you'll see if you guys don't look at my work on Instagram, you'll see a lot of ladies that people say they sexy ladies. Well, that style of photography has opened up so many doors for me. That's why I never left it alone. I took a break from it, listening to other people, and I shouldn't even took a break because I took a break. I ended up paying studio rent out of my own pocket, paying
really?
gas out of my own pocket. I went back to it within the next month. Studio rent out of picture money, car payments. I was like, I need to stay with what I do. Yeah,
That's your lane. That's what you're good at.
Right.
And that's what works for you.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I got known for, and it opens up doors. I had a client that I did some work for her. Well, she came back. I shot her mother. Then another client, I shot her. Now they bring their daughters for they bring their babies in. So it just opens up doors.
Oh, wow.
So, being that you're in the military and you basically got 2 full-time jobs,
Yeah.
how does one feed into the other? Is there principles and skills you learned in the military that you take to your business and vice versa?
Yeah, it is. My first one is punctuality.
You know, time.
Be on time, like that's my biggest pet peeve. But I also learned hurry up and wait.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, military teach you that
Yeah,
real
right.
Yeah.
Those are like the biggest things because those are things you can't get back. And even if it's like real crazy, like I understand. I had to learn to understand that people have lives, even though they booked a session. It's traffic, and especially here, it's traffic. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
So I just give people a little leeway. That was one of the main things I learned: time management and punctuality.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, learn to speak to people because even though I already knew how to speak to people, I know how to speak to one demographic basically.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about.
Yeah, so now I know how to speak to all the demographics now. I can just,
Well, if that's what you're trying to open yourself and be as universal
Right.
as possible, and you want that universal money, you got to use
Right,
that
right.
universal money. Yes, absolutely.
and just like we were talking about last podcast with the traveling the world, living in different places, all that influences
Yeah.
your work. So now you're able to come back to a place like Tampa, and people still can't believe, oh, I found a photographer like this in Tampa. Where did you learn this at? I lived around the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I've
your
traveled the
stuff's
world.
gonna be different than everyone
Everybody
else's
else,
because
right.
no one's, walked in your shoes.
Right. And that's why everybody can all be in the same room. We can all do the same event. So these photographers like to do collabs, and they'll get all us together, and they all want to shoot the same stuff. And I can't do it. There's no
Right.
creativity behind that. I don't come to the event. I will go to an event, but I won't partake in it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just be there as like an anchor. Because for my small fan base, once they put my name there, I'll be there. At least it'll help the other guys get a different quality model.
Right.
So that's how I look at that.
That's important too, that diversity, because we talked about that way long time ago. That diversity of environment leads to diversified conversations, diversified people, diversified thoughts, diversified actions. It's like a chain.
Yeah.
And it all starts with putting yourself in situations that aren't your norm. And it forces you to adapt to it.
You have to.
Like when you talk to strangers, that's probably uncomfortable the first couple of seconds. Once that ice gets broken, there you go.
Yeah. You'll find something you got in common with any of them.
Mm-hmm. Find some kind of common ground.
Always. Especially when, like us, we dabble in. You look at the places where I hang at, the cigar lounges.
Mm-hmm.
Most of those people are going. You got to have some type of money to hang in the cigar lounge because you just lighting up $20 on fire just to sit there. So
That's a good way to put
Yes,
it.
$20 bill, set it on fire and smoke
It
it.
is funny. Think about it. Yeah.
so you know that person has some type of disposable income.
Mhm.
Everybody's not. I'm not talking to everybody to be a client. I'm also talking to everybody just because I like to mingle. I like to talk to people. I like to build relationships. I don't. My son told me. My middle son told me the other day. He was like, "You do anything for $1." And he didn't think that it was offensive, but I had to tell him. I was like, "No, I won't." I say I had to break it down to him. I say the stuff that you see me doing is all planned to get you to where you won't have to work as hard as I do. I said, you think I want to come home from working 10 hours, 11 hours and be up another 5-6 hours?
Right.
Nobody wants to do that. I say it would be nice to just be able to sit back and just enjoy the fruits of the labor.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm trying to set up for them.
But yeah, it takes hard work too.
It take a lot.
Someone got to do it. Someone got to,
Somebody
lay that foundation.
Right.
Yeah, they do. Man, those kids will get you.
Yeah.
The lessons and
Yeah.
piano and sports activities.
It's nonstop time.
But
money.
I told
those
him
are
last
goals,
night.
you know?
Yeah. I told him last night he was playing a video game. I hadn't heard a violin since he's moved in. He's been living with
So
me.
does violin?
Yeah.
My son does too.
See?
Yeah.
So I see a little kid playing violin. I sent it to him. He said, "Oh, that's cool. He's good." I was like, "Yeah, you could be too." And he chose to play video games.
I do the same thing. I feel like, hey, look at this kid right here. Look at this.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say. So I tell him. I say, I will help you do anything you want to do that's productive.
Yeah.
Then I'll go get another job if it's something I can't afford.
You have
But,
to.
yeah, if I have to, if it's productive. Video games, I care less about. Oh yeah, somebody made millions of dollars. Just like somebody made millions of dollars playing football. It's less than 1% chance that you're gonna be that kid. It's a whole world of kids doing the same thing you're doing.
I told my son, hey, you're gonna do video games, you better get good. I mean, you better be practicing to get good, to get professional.
Yeah.
You don't do that. Like, nah, do something else. It's not for you.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
So my daughter's just like every kid in the world now, they always on YouTube. I'm like, start your own YouTube channel,
Right.
and you create content versus being a consumer. You at least you know what a good YouTube content is. You know how it's going. You watch it all day every day.
Mm-hmm.
You watch it all day every day, so you know what entices you to watch this crap. And y'all need to start making that. You know what I mean? So you got to get creative with that because you don't want to. And I think we're all guilty. We all work so hard to give these kids what we didn't have, then they lose something, and then they don't appreciate it. So you got to say, you know what?
That grind, that hustle.
Yeah, because it comes so
toughness.
easy, and they know mommy and daddy got us because they always have. And yeah, there is something with this, being a creative, actually going out at a young age, getting that job, having that responsibility carries over.
That's a catch-22 too, because you think about it, a lot of people persevere because of a struggle they had earlier. So they you're forced to adapt, you're forced to do better because you weren't doing good in the past. But like our kids, just straight out say it, they're privileged.
Yes.
They're living in a way right now in society and the privilege of instant access to information, you got the internet, you got everybody has cell phones, transportation is easy, they have everything they need. So what's gonna be their pressure to help them build something that's a little better? I ain't figured it out yet. Yeah.
All of us to stay on them.
And maybe that communication, I think it's going to be, and I think COVID last year, them not having school, it's going to play an effect where when they get older, their cognitive skills may be a little behind, like when they doing job interviews or doing whatever.
Communication skills.
Yeah, just selling themselves and just,
I wouldn't even just blame that on COVID though. That's just in general. It's just they don't look up. Not even talking about my own kids. I'm talking about the young guys at work.
Oh yeah, consumer.
You're right. Yeah, it's constantly in their phones. Like they miss the whole world. It's addictive. Like you were saying, you need to find what is that sucks a person in. Because they can't turn away from it, whatever it is. Video games, YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's the coaching.
It is.
Yeah, they won't turn away. Like they can't miss a 15-second stroll down for everything.
Or you think about it, that's really on us too, as parents. You gotta think about it. We can easily turn the power off.
Yeah.
Or get away from them. You know.
Oh, I most definitely turn the Wi-Fi off in my house.
You know.
Yeah, I do.
Just shut it off.
Yeah, I do. I just shut it off.
And I think it's the reverse happens too when they are experiencing something that's like, where my phone at, because this doesn't count unless
that's so
everyone sees
live
it
in the moment.
and I post it, and then I gotta see what everyone say about it.
Yeah,
and that's what validates.
Yeah.
The moment's the moment.
Yeah.
I told my son that the other day. Artificial confidence.
Yeah.
That come from ET.
I remember. I think was it Noah or Fat Joe. One of them got a podcast now, and they say the reason why it's so successful is because it's like a bunch of '90s rappers, early 2000s, '80s rappers, where they can tell all these stories, but there's no footage of it. There's no recording. He's like, I'm the only one that got these. So you had to be there, basically.
Right.
That's the whole childhood. Think about our whole childhood.
You had to be there. These memories are in me. You know, if there was something crazy that happened, no one had their phone for like, yo, what happened? You was there? Tell me what happened.
Right.
You know, now it's like,
I gotta get everybody in.
Send me the
You
video.
be like, so like, boom. You know he wasn't lying.
Right.
Or it's like, man, I already saw it. It's already on YouTube. It's online. Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
It's nothing to see. Like, you'll see it every time you go somewhere around here. If there's any event, like, people have their phone up and look at the phone.
Versus,
through.
Yeah,
they be at concerts looking at the phone at the concert. To be honest, I found myself doing that.
Well, we all do it, but then how often do you go back and look at it?
I don't.
Exactly.
You don't.
I'm guilty of it too.
That's
and
so
I'm a content creator. I'm guilty of it.
Yeah, you never go back and be like, let me check my stories from 7 months ago. Let me see what I was supposed to post.
If you do watch it, you look at it like, why I still have this?
Exactly. She's taking up room on my phone, but you're still scared to let it go.
Right.
It's like a water. It's like a digital water.
Yep.
Like, I'm emotional attached to this video of an event that I was at and felt the presence of.
Now we're all electronic hoarders.
Right, yeah. Hard drives.
Yeah.
So what's something you want to tell the people that they could take back, and something that's practical that you've been successful with and you think that would help them?
Whatever you want to do, I don't care how ridiculous it may seem, do it. At least try researching. I don't care what nobody tell you. If you can't do it, you can't do it. I don't care if you got to start. If you're 40, 50 years old, you want to go and be a doctor, don't let nobody say, can't do it, you're old. Don't stop. As long as you're breathing, you got another chance. Every breath, you got a chance to start something new. I don't stop. I'm guilty of it. I wish I can stop, just relax. I don't know how to. A lot of times people see me sitting idle, but my mind's going crazy. Like I'm always on some deadline that I put myself on, that I built my own pressure against myself. That kind of sucks sometimes.
What about you, Jason? What you want to tell the folks?
Something he said, I kind of want to steal a little bit. He's talking about every day you're breathing, another chance to improve yourself. So whatever it is you want to do, if you're still breathing, you still have life in your lungs, you should be doing that. If you want to get better relationship with God and Christ, you dig in that Bible and read it. Read it every single day. Make it part of your life and practice that. Practice learning it. Practice talking about it. So that can be your thing. But as long as you have breath, like he said, you have time. So don't be waiting till you're 80 years old.
Using other people's breath.
Using other people's breath. Right? You got a machine doing it for you.
Right.
You have your own breath. Take that time to do that. Just remember that every day's not promised. So we gotta appreciate the time that we have, as long as the air we have in our lungs to do those things. That's all I know.
And going back to something else you said, you started in 2009. You didn't start seeing the profit till 2000. 8 years later, basically. And during that time, you investing in yourself. You investing in yourself. You investing in yourself. But it took 8 years of grinding, getting better, figuring it out, to finally you could say, hey, I charge this much an hour. Take the lead. Hey, here's my work. Here's my portfolio. This is what you're getting. Versus I got this expensive camera. I'm about to start hitting people over the head because I know how to use this camera, and you don't got this camera. Like, no, you got your skills up. You understand that just like a barber, anyone can pick up clippers, but everyone wants to go to a certain barber, certain tattoo artist, and it took them years and years. Granted, there's like a born talent, but it's a lot of practice and a lot of money they spend on their craft. And once you get good enough, hey, now you can tax, now you can charge, and it pays off basically. Investing in yourself pays off, but you gotta be patient. You gotta be patient.
It's like he says, people see this stuff on social media, they believe it's just it's instant.
That's why they call it Instagram.
It's instant.
Everybody's just giving you a highlight for the whole day. Some people live a lavish life. That's a select few.
I thought I was just now doing the math. Like your experience before you got paid was the same amount of time for a medical doctor to get earn an MD. About 8 years.
Yeah,
you know what it is. So your experience earned you that doctorate in
photography, right? Without
degree. But the experience is there though.
Right.
That time's important. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, that's one thing. Everybody can do it different ways. I mean, a lot of people do go to school for photography and then they still don't have the skill set when they get out.
Or because they don't have that experience. Because
Right.
you out there grinding, taking pictures for free, making it work, taking pictures like, oh dang, I need to versus, you know.
Paying to go to school for them to tell you the assignments, which
we went to school of hard knocks.
Making them errors out there in the street.
I mean, a lot of people go to jail and learn their craft because, you know what I'm saying? Granted, choose school over jail, but
right. Yeah, but that's where you at. That's your circumstance.
That's what I'm saying. So you still learning, you still practicing.
Alumni of San Quentin.
Yeah.
But all right, bro, we appreciate you. We've been trying to get you on here for a minute, man. Thank you. I know you're a humble dude. You like to talk. I know you usually like to be behind the camera, but we appreciate you getting in front of the camera.
Appreciate it.
So where can the people find you?
MakingShots.com. It's simple. MakingShots.com.
And what about the on your social media?
IG.
My Instagram is Making Shots Photography. I also have a walk-off photography. I also have a Shots by Walt. I have quite a few of those. They all link to Making Shots Photography.
Cool.
Kids, go to the website.
All right. We appreciate you. We appreciate y'all joining us. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment on how we did, what we can do better. We appreciate you. Peace. Thanks for coming through. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content. Also, ensure that you like us on IG. And also, you can listen to the audio version on all streaming formats like Apple and Spotify.